Oh, Back to the Future was absolutely another Inchmel story. Oh my God, look what he's doing. He's hiding his head right here. Mo still is bored because he can't walk because of his hips. Whatever, he's doing better. Because this dude right here was a loser and he got the girl in the end. And again, just like, what was that movie? Can't Buy Me Love that I just did a review on. Dork or complete a-hole. Those are your choices, ladies. And since, he can just strong arm his way into getting the girl, or like the football player, the bully, whatever. And the dork really deserves the hottest girl at school. He deserves it for doing nothing. Then she has to be stuck with one of these dudes. So this is a response to a comment. I'm not coming after you. I think you just forgot some of the parts of this movie. Because you didn't understand why someone said Back to the Future, I should do that one. And this is not a deep dive on Back to the Future. I have not watched it in a while, but I tell you what I do remember about it, I'm going to share it in a second. But this says, Marty was cute, his girlfriend was cute, he was trying to get himself home, makes men look bad, like Biff. Yeah, but see, Biff looks bad only so that this guy can get laid and not be this loser. See, this guy was a loser. He was always a loser. You know what else he was? A peeping Tom. That's right. The father of Marty McFly was peeping on Marty's mom before they ever hooked up. I mean, I know that like when I watched this in my little kid brain was like, okay, oh, he likes it. I mean, this was kind of weird to me, but this was so normalized. This is part of grape culture. Like, well, he really wants her, and there's nothing wrong with him climbing a tree and with binoculars watching her undress. I know it was totally cool to do that back then, but it's not anymore. And people seem to forget this scene right here because this is the guy who got the girl, even though she didn't even like him. I gotta go watch the movie. I still don't understand how she even ended up on dates with him. He sucked. But then I don't understand how, Edward Scissorhands, like I said, he got the girl, even though he came from a bird's nest in Daddy Warbucks' crazy scientist mansion, and he couldn't talk, but she felt sorry for him, and her only choice was a psycho who hung out in a van, who was a football player, or, man with no hands. And then Can't Buy Me Love, complete jerk boyfriend. So, it's either him or a nerd Inchmel who literally is already a prick and then becomes popular by buying his way into it because she ruined her mom's like cowgirl outfit with wine. And so Marty McFly's mom, also same conundrum. You either get a complete jerk or you get the nice guy who deserves the world because this man's mean to him. Like, literally, women have just been used as a plot device for men in all stories. But this was their dynamic in the beginning, right? Biff is a bully. He's a bully in high school. He's a bully as an adult. And George McFly is a loser. He's smart, I guess, which I don't even know if he's smart. Just because you wear glasses and look like a dork doesn't mean you're smart. It just means you're not popular. So I don't even know if he's smart. He could be the dumbest rock. But the only way for him to get back at him is with a girl. The only way for him to become him is for her to almost get raped. That's literally the only reason why he got her and became not a loser. I still don't understand how he got her to begin with. I don't think they covered that in the story. How did these two end up together? Right? I don't know, maybe Biff found another woman and she was like, okay, I'll go for the loser nerd. But would you go for him if you knew he was peeping on you with the binocular? So, she should be actually grateful. So grateful that her son and this wacko accidentally ended up traveling back in time so she could almost get raped by him so he could have this moment of, you get your hands off of her and become him. Grape, 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 grape. We love throwing grape around for a character development of loser. Not only that, but revenge. Like I said, it's all revenge of the nerd. The more Biff treats George McFly terrible, bullies of George McFly, it's not usually Biff who pays the price. It's actually usually the wife, which is why I make fun of men who have pranks and make fun of their wives all the time and tell all these jokes. They're never jokes. They're usually, you know what, if they never had their moment of telling off their bully, then she pays the price for the rest of her life of him not being able to stand up to him. Even the nerds are actually, if they're not working on themselves and deconstructing patriarchy and entitlement and selfishness and need to dominate somebody that comes with it, then George McFly, all the little George McFlys, little inchmells out there, in order to get over how much they were bullied or just not given the castle, the kingdom that they were promised, they're going to take all their anger out, instead of this guy, on her and maybe their children too. So if they don't work on themselves, all this stuff that happens, that cycle of violence is not going to end. But now they've got a live-in dork themselves. The dork, when he gets married, now he has a dork, a live-in dork that he gets to bully because he's still a man and he may not be able to stand up to the big bully Biff, right? But he's got all the power under patriarchy to screw over his wife. Hello, McFly. It's going to be you. You're going to be the one who he's going to do this to. So whether they're nerds or short, I'm not saying all short men do this, but a lot of short men do this. Nerds, short, something, some disadvantage under patriarchy to all those men, you will pay a price if you marry these dudes. And they have not worked on that, because the fact that he was doing this in the beginning, like, I mean, I get it. Sometimes, you know, they were looking at their dad's little magazines, right? But this is next level. This is, I feel entitled to her body, even though she literally doesn't talk to me. So if she doesn't give it to me, I'm going to steal it without her consent. The only way a backwards beret wearing nerd who also was stalking the woman he loved, literally go to her practice and stare through the fence like a creeper. Money. So, you know, little different plot. You know, he didn't save her from getting graped by Bobby, her boyfriend, who was off in college. Oh, he sucked. Seemed like a kind of a violent dude, to be honest. But, you know, he saved her in a different way. Not from, you know, SA, but from getting in trouble with her mom. And now he gets to be this. Not only are women used as character development in all stories and in life, but literally, this is what we call social capital, right? He went from nothing to like everything, and he used her. And then she settled for this jerk. He literally was just a jerk with no popularity. So once he was popular, he was even a bigger jerk. Do not date a George McFly who needs to feel a sense of purpose and get confidence from saving you. Because in the end, this man is going to be your number one enemy. Don't believe the ending of this story. He is not going to be this man. He's actually going to be this man, because these two men are the same almost always, unless he does a lot of work on himself. Because it is traumatizing to be bullied. But most men won't deal with all their anger at this dude, so you're going to get it. Don't date or marry these nerds, because they are all living a Revenge of the Nerds fantasy, and you are the prize and the person who all that Revenge of the Nerds energy is going to be taken out on. Insecure men with revenge fantasy are some of the most dangerous men on the planet. Be careful out there. Stop watching movies written by men, especially ones for women, and especially ones written about teenagers. Including Euphoria, perv, Sam, Nepo baby, perv. I don't know if you want a breakdown of Back to the Future. I don't even know if I have so many movies I want to break down. I think I made all my points in this one. But this is what we call indoctrination. Every movie is like this. Every movie women were raised on, every book mostly. And it's not just men writing this stuff. They're pick-me's writing this stuff. Right? A lot of women who center men writing this stuff. We're like, settle for Tom Hanks and You've Got Mail. Even though he literally is like the worst dude ever. What a love story. That's written by a woman. Cecilia Regina's covered that. When Harry Met Sally, terrible love story. Same person wrote that. Amazing storyteller, problematic story. As Therese Lee would say, do a media audit. Look at the stuff you watch, the stuff you consume, the stories you read. Who's writing them, who's it for, who's financing them. This stuff all has an impact, and that's how you can push back.